some things that I'm going to say are difficult to say and will ruffle some feathers, but it's a sad fact. And it's a fact we can rejoice over as well. And that is this: there are true disciples and there are false disciples of Jesus, the Messiah. And I've been reading John chapter 6, and in that chapter I see lots of things, but one running theme seems to be that there is an extreme demarcation line that is drawn between the true disciple and the false disciple. Well, what is a disciple? It's a student, a learner, a follower, someone who has attached themselves to someone to gain knowledge, information. And in that chapter we see several things happening. We see the miracle of the feeding of the 5,000 from the 5 loaves and the 2 fish. Lots of people participating in this miracle, seeing this miracle, being a part of it. No denying the miracle. We see that the people, when it was over with, and they said, truly, this is the prophet. I believe Deuteronomy 18 is what they were referring to, where Moses said there would be a prophet like me, and him you must listen to. They said, truly, this is the prophet that's going to come into the world. We believe this is him. And Jesus, after that, he perceives that they're going to try to force him and make him their king. They're going to come and take him by force. Now, why would they do that? It seems asinine. It seems ridiculous that people would think that they could come and take him by force. Well, you continue to read and you see what was in their mind and what was in the process of their thinking, of what would carry them to the idea. We need to make him king. We got to make him that. Kind of like we're going to put him in a box because we like this. And we see that the next day he was gone. Well, he wasn't going to let them make him king. He went into the mountain away from them. He was not going to be taken captive by them and made king the way they wanted to do things, because he knew what was in their hearts and in their minds. He didn't like it. I wonder what it was that they were thinking, because he was the king. But he didn't like what they were thinking and how they were thinking it. And we see later, the next day, they left him. They did not stay with him. So, one mark of a false disciple is they don't stay. They draw back. They leave the teacher. The next day they were looking for him, and they said, how did you get here? And they'd gone to Capernaum and they had followed him, and how did you get here? And he said, you're not seeking me because you want me. You're seeking me because of the bread. You're seeking me because I fed you the food. I gave you something that satisfied your flesh. Could it be that's why they wanted to make him king? And he said, don't labor for the food that perishes, the things that are temporal in this life. Don't labor for that. There's so much said about things like that. Lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven. We need eternal life, because this life is not going to last. Everything here is temporal. The flower fade. The grass fades. The flower fades. These things are going to be burned up. So he's telling them something that seems to be a line between a true disciple and a false disciple. A true disciple seems as though they're not laboring for the food that perishes or for the temporal things. They're laboring for the food that gives life eternal, the bread that God gives. which is Jesus. Just some things to think about. I might talk more about it later, I don't know. But which are you?